Good evening. Regular meeting of the Housing Authority is called to order. Roll call, please.
Just a sec. Commissioners Ramirez,
Here.
Valencia,
Here.
Hernandez,
Here.
Vice Chair Perez.
Here.
Chair Ayala.
Here. There are two consent items for consideration. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented?
I'll move it.
Got it. Thank you. Ready for roll call?
I'll wait in 1 second. Yeah, we're ready for roll call.
Okay. Commissioners Ramirez,
Aye.
Valencia,
Aye.
Hernandez,
I abstain. Item 69050.
Vice Chair Perez.
Aye.
Chair Ayala.
Aye. Okay, Community Development Director's report is a report.
No report.
Is there anyone wishing to speak under oral communications under the Housing Authority? Seeing none, it's closed. Be starting the council meeting in a second. Okay, the regular meeting of the Norwalk City Council. You're welcome. Where was I? Regular meeting of the Norwalk City Council is now called to order. This evening, we're honored to welcome Pastor Tom Burns at Community Baptist Church here in Norwalk. Pastor Burns has been a pastor for 35 years. In his free time, he enjoys reading and running. Following the invocation, we're excited to be joined by our special guest, young Marine Private Brian Maudlin, to conduct the Pledge of Allegiance. Young Marine Private Maudlin is a fourth grader at William Orr Elementary School. He joined the Young Marines to learn discipline and how to respect people. He enjoys youth football, soccer, and video games. Pastor Tom Burns and Young Marine Private Montfort, please come forward to lead us in the invocation and the flag salute, and then afterwards we'll take a photo together out front.
Good evening. Please stand and join me for the invocation tonight. Our Father in heaven, may you be pleased that this time is being taken in this meeting to acknowledge you. By faith, we are confident that it will result in your favor upon this city and its future success as we comply with the instruction of your word to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Our need for your divine help cannot be overstated. So right now, we pray, God, help us. And Father, I thank you for these council members, that they have been principled and courageous in their commitment to put the city of Norwalk and its citizens first in their governance. Had to pay a price for this. So Lord, I pray for your special grace and favor to be upon them. Give them peace and strength in making the decisions that they know are right for our city. Bless them and keep them. We place this meeting before your throne of mercy and grace. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Please stand. Right hand. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Pastor Burns, private court. Thank you very much for coming to do our invocation. It's an honor for us. It should be an honor for you as well. Pledge allegiance. Because that's a fact totem right there, in case you're wondering. And anyway, thanks very much. And I hope it was an honor for you as it was for us. Here you go, young man.
Ready? Everyone look right here. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. And one more. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Thank you guys.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmembers Ramirez.
Here.
And Valencia.
Here.
Vice Mayor Perez.
Here.
Mayor Ayala.
Here. Can I have the city attorney report, please?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. The record should reflect tonight the City Council convened into closed session for the 3 items that were listed on the agenda. And prior to recessing, those 3 items were announced. The record should further reflect that the City Council, with the 4 members that are present here in open session, were also present in closed session to receive a briefing on the following matters. Let me start with item number 1, which is going to be a little bit lengthier report than normal. On item number 1, which is a conference with legal counsel, existing litigation. This involves the lawsuit, the litigation matter of the state of California versus the city of Norwalk. And I should note that the city and the state have affirmatively resolved this matter by stipulation that the settlement agreement was processed and executed by both parties. The further, the judge that was hearing this matter, Judge Chalfant, on September 5th, 2025, did approve and execute the proposed stipulated final judgment and order in this matter. That as a result of this matter, this case is now dismissed and without further action by either party other than those terms that are expressed in the stipulation and settlement. That it should be further noted that as part of that agreement, there was be certain considerations taken by the city, including action relative to the moratorium urgency ordinance that was adopted on, August 6th of 2024. That was ordinance number 24-1752U. On that matter, that was the urgency ordinance that imposed certain limitations on transitional housing, permanent supportive housing, shelters, and single-room occupancies. But as a result of that, of this stipulation and final judgment, the parties have agreed that going forward on that ordinance, the city had in fact taken action after a public hearing conducted on September 5th of this year to allow the terms of that 2024 urgency ordinance expire. And that on August 5th, 2025, the City Council allowed that ordinance 24-1752 52U to expire by its terms. And the city affirms that the moratorium on transitional housing, permanent supportive housing, shelters, and single-room occupancy housing has therefore effectively and definitively been repealed. Anyone proposing such projects may now submit them, and the city will process them expeditiously in the ordinary course of its processing. That this is in compliance with the stipulations between the party, and that this should resolve the component essential for the city to have its housing element reinstated. And the HCD has indicated through the Deputy Attorney General handling this matter that city's housing element will be reinstated by, recertified by Friday. With that, that concludes my report on the first item. I should note, however, that just for, as part of the record on the terms of the settlement, the $250,000 funds of trust that were put in the trust fund for housing projects are monies that are controlled and governed by the city of Norwalk. That it was not a payment to the state. It was money that is being set aside to address affordable housing needs in the city. Moving on to item number 2 and item number 3. Those two items were presented to the City Council. There was no action taken in either of those two matters that is required to be reported at this time from closed session. And with that, Mr. Mayor, thank you for my rather lengthy report on item number 1. But it was essential to get that on the record. With that, that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Glassman. City Council comments. Councilmember Ramirez.
No comments this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Councilmember Valencia.
Mayor, can you come back to me?
Vice Mayor Perez.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I do have a few items that I want to report out on and keep it brief this evening. I want to congratulate the Norwalk-La Mirada Unified School District, who hosted their very first State of the District last week. It was last week. So congratulations to the school district. They did a great job. And I really was struck with what their motto, what they're carrying for their leadership team, their directors, their teachers, and all the way down to their students at every level. This year is leadership at every level. And I think that's key and very important for all of our students to hear, see, and believe. We also had a tour of the Tesla facility that is here in Norwalk. Thank you to the entire team that helped make that happen, as well as to the team at Tesla here in the city of Norwalk. And I want to give a huge congratulations to the Greater Whittier YMCA, who celebrated 100 years of Camp Arbolabro, if I said that correctly. The YMCA in Greater Whittier actually services the Norwalk youth here for our students and our kids, and it was great to be able to be with them to celebrate 100 years of serving their community. That's all I have tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Valencia.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. First, I want to say Happy Mexican Independence Day to those of you who celebrate and who are Latino Mexican heritage, myself. And also, Happy Independence Day to our Central American folks who celebrated yesterday, September 15th. In this day and age, I think it's important to celebrate people's heritage and cultures because we are a blend of that here in the United States of America. I also want to invite and remind people that this Sunday, the Norwalk Lions Club is having a pancake breakfast, and it is this Sunday at the Norwalk Arts and Sports Complex, and you're all welcome to join us. I believe the tickets are $10, and it's going to begin at 8, ends at 12, but don't get there at 12 or even 11:30 because we run out of a lot of things. And thank you to Mr. Rosewoods, who generously provide some of our ingredients, and that's why they're so yummy. But of course, they're made by our very own Norwalk Lions Club members. So I hope to see you there this Sunday. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Just a couple things. Just dovetail into Vice Mayor Perez was saying. I want to thank Tesla for giving a behind-the-scenes tour to the council and to members of our commission. And it's something that they don't do on the normal. We had a promise not to take any photography inside, and it was very high tech. It was very impressive, and they have some beautiful vehicles there. And I was amazed at how reasonably priced many of them are. Secondly, I want to thank Danny for. I went to the Senior Center 16th of September celebration, and it was a celebration. I mean, there was music and dancing, and just it was really awesome. Great spirit, great environment, great ambiance. Just a great job. So good job, Danny. We're going to go into we're going to proclaim September as Senior Center Month in the city of Norwalk. City of Norwalk proudly recognizes the month of September as National Senior Center Month. National Senior Center Month highlights the city's commitment to meeting needs of our diverse older adult population by providing an inclusive facility. This creates a safe, welcoming, and respectful community where all older adults, ages 50 and over, can come together to learn, connect, and build friendships and support. Senior Center is celebrating 25 years of service as it redefines the concept of a senior center by developing innovative, high-quality programs and services, enriching and enhancing the lives of older adults. So now, therefore, I, Tony Ayala, Mayor of the City of Norwalk, on behalf of Vice Mayor Jennifer Perez and my fellow council members Rick Ramirez, Margarita Rios, and Ana Valencia, do hereby proclaim September 2025 as National Senior Center Month. Let's welcome staff from the Norwalk Senior Center to the front to accept the proclamation and join us for a photo. And I believe we have some seniors here too. Danny, could you make sure that everybody gets up here that's supposed to be here?
All right, everyone look right here. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. One more. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
So now the City of Norwalk proudly recognizes September 22nd to September 26th as National Gear Up Week, gaining early awareness and readiness for undergraduate programs. The federally funded grant program designed to increase the number of low-income minority and first-generation students. It prepares them to enter and succeed in post-secondary. Long Beach Gear Up serves more than 1,600 students and 300 parents throughout the Norwalk-La community. Gear Up thrives through public-private partnerships. The City of Norwalk proudly collaborates with local schools, community organizations, and regional partners to support the students up to their college career. Now therefore I, Tony Ayala, Mayor of the City of Norwalk, on behalf of Vice Mayor Jennifer Perez and my fellow council members Rick Ramirez, Margarita Rios, and Ana Valencia, do hereby proclaim September 22nd to 26th as National Gear Up Week. Let's welcome the members of the Gear Up team to the front to accept the proclamation and join us for a group photo. And I believe we have Dominica Scabetta, Gear Up Director, and Hiroko Harper, Outreach Coordinator here. There you are.
One, two, and three. Perfect. One more. One, two, and three. Perfect.
Thank you. Good to see you again. I know, I love it. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Okay, keep going.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the fan.
You're rocking it, yeah.
Okay, let's see. The city proclaim, we're proclaiming, we're honored this evening to proudly recognize September 15th through October 15th as National Hispanic Heritage Month. The city of Norwalk recognizes and values the significant impact that Hispanic and Latino residents have on our community, fostering a sense of unity and cultural enrichment through their traditions and leadership. Hispanics and Latinos make up 69% of the Norwalk population. We are proud to celebrate the rich heritage and achievement of these communities, reaffirming our commitment, promoting cultural appreciation, equity, and inclusion for all residents. Now, therefore, I, Tony Ayala, Mayor of the City of Norwalk, on behalf of Vice Mayor Jennifer Perez and my fellow council members Rick Ramirez, Margarita Rios, and Ana Valencia, do hereby proclaim September 15th to October 15th as National Hispanic Heritage Month. Now let's welcome the Alondra United Parents Club board members to the front to accept the proclamation and join us for a group photo.
He's eating and talking to us.
thanks again to the United Parents Club Board. You do a lot of good work at Social Service Center, and we appreciate it. City Manager comments, Mr. Gomez, please.
Yes, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of City Council. First of all, I'd like to wish everyone a happy 16th of September, Mexican Independence Day. I did get to also visit the social services celebration this morning, and all I can say was very active, very festive, and lots of happy seniors there. The mariachi was playing and everyone was dancing, so a very happy occasion. And again, I want to mention that it's going to be a hot week with rain expected on Thursday, and wanted to just make sure that if it gets up in the high in the 90s, that we would have the cooling center if needed, and we will announce that as the temperatures rise here in the city. And then we have a biweekly review video that we'd like to share with the community of the activities that have happened in the last 2 weeks. And with that, we can play the video.
On September 4th, the Social Services Center celebrated Grandparents' Day. Families who attended built piñatas to celebrate. Thank you, grandparents, for everything you do. The Recreation and Park Services Department teamed up with the National Police Athletic League to host the Play Like a Girl Basketball Skills Clinic at the Norwalk Arts and Sports Complex on September 6th. Led by WNBA legend and ServCom founder Rusha Brown, this clinic was designed to help girls ages 8 to 16 build their skills and confidence on and off the basketball court.
There's so many different skills that transfer over into life, and so just helping them come out here and be athletic, health is wealth. So just to be able to encourage them, be positive, is something that they can take back with them. And I think it's great that the city of Norwalk has actually put this on for the second year in a row. And I hope I can do this forever, because there's so many young girls out here that need role models, and they'll be able to inspire the other generation. So I'm excited, and it's important. Play like a girl.
Tesla Norwalk cordially invited the council and commissioners to a VIP tour of their new facility on Wednesday, September 10th. The walking tour provided an immersive experience, showcasing the entire process from vehicle intake to sale directly off the lot. On September 11th, Southeast Academy and John Glenn High School held their annual 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony, honoring the lives lost and the heroes who answered the call that day. Each year, this tradition reminds us of the courage, service, and unity that continue to define our nation.
And Mayor, that concludes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. There are 10 consent items for consideration. Teresa, are there any persons wishing to speak on the consent calendar?
I do not have any speaker cards for consent calendar.
I'll move it.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Mayor, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Thank you. This sounds like a fantastic opportunity, the right-of-way agreement to construct a Gateway Cities Regional Fiber Optic Network. It's supposed to be for all kinds of things, but really internet and all that wonderful stuff. But I was wondering, I was reading the fine print, and my eyes are a little bit tricky. I was trying to figure out what are some of the potential costs involved with this. I know that there is a grant, millions of dollars, and I'm appreciative of that and the Council of Governments. but I'm wondering, what is the potential cost for us? Because I saw that the cities, it's a conglomerate of cities coming in together for this, but it also says that the cities will bear some of the costs and what have you. I just want to get an idea of what kinds of costs or what amount would be involved for us as a city. Can anybody? Yes, Glenn?
Councilwoman Valencia, as of right now, as what's indicated on the plans and such, the alignments, there is, the cost of all costs are being borne by the Gateway COG,
By what?
by Gateway COG, by the COG and the group. If a change occurs on that, then costs will be incurred by the agency, or if it's Norwalk in that case.
But, so we won't have construction or type of things that go under or what have you. That's all going to be borne from the, I think it was 42 million?
That's correct. That would include for any, as when the city itself is doing construction, and we have a, say like a conflict in the alignment.
Okay.
They should know that under the design component, but sometimes things change or they're not as indicated on previous plans. That would have to be accounted for at that time, and then that would be borne by the construction. If we elect to change anything, that's where a cost would be burdened upon the city.
Well, it's really great. Thank you. Thank you, Director of Public Services, Glenn Cow. And it's really great to see the city of Norwalk and other cities getting together and going in together on such a wonderful opportunity. It's refreshing. And I really look forward to this. So I was very excited about this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Valencia, Councilmember Valencia. Does anybody on council have any appointments tonight?
We haven't done roll call yet.
Oh, we have a motion second. Yeah, can I have a roll call, please?
Council members Ramirez.
Aye.
Valencia.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Perez.
Aye.
Mayor Ayala.
Aye. Okay, does anybody have any appointments this evening?
Yes, Mayor, I do have one appointment. I'd like to reappoint Miss Gina Corona to the Historical Heritage Commission.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Sure, I'll tell Gina. It's all right, Anna. Okay, roll call, please.
Council members Ramirez.
Aye.
Valencia.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Perez.
Aye.
Mayor Ayala.
Aye. Okay, item 12, resolution number 25-44, approving the infrastructure financing plan for the Norwalk Enhanced Infrastructure Financing District and the allocation of property tax increment within the Norwalk Enhanced Infrastructure Financing District. Staff report, please.
Yes, Mayor, members of the City Council, Mr. Alex Hamilton will present.
Yes, Honorable Council, tonight before you is a resolution that you will be asked to adopt as the City Council as set forth in the Government Code. As a bit of background on this, you're very familiar with this item. It's been presented multiple times, but it's necessary I give you a little bit of background before we commence with the request for the adoption. So, as you're aware, the city has evaluated infrastructure financing districts as a financing tool to facilitate economic development in various development opportunity sites, for example, the Transit Village and Entertainment District, via investment into critical infrastructure. On March 18th, 2025, the City Council adopted a resolution of intent to form the AIFD. And on April 15th, 2025, the County Board of Supervisors adopted a resolution of intent to participate in the AIFD formation and implementation. The Public Financing Authority met on July 1st of 2025 to adopt bylaws for the Financing Authority and direct preparation of the infrastructure financing plan. We call it the IFP. The Financing Authority met on September 2nd to 2025 to hear a presentation of the draft IFP from staff and consultants, including Cosmont, and address questions but take no action. An information presentation only. Public notices regarding the EIFD have been mailed. Information was posted on a dedicated website, and notices were also published in the newspaper of local circulation as required by law to inform property owners and residents within the EIFD. City Council is now being asked to consider approval of the infrastructure financing plan pursuant to Government Code Section 53398.68, including the proposed allocation of a portion of future city property tax increment within the EIFD boundary in accordance with Government Code Section 53398.75 as set forth in the financing plan. Key next steps include, in the formation of the district and implementation, include 2 additional Public Finance Authority public hearings. I'll go over those dates with you, the suggested dates, and County Board of Supervisors approval. Completion is targeted for this whole action by December of 2025. It's important to note that if the financing plan is modified after City Council action this evening, the modified financing plan will be required to return to City Council for approval prior to EIFD formation. I won't go over all the details. You received a lengthy presentation, detailed presentation on the financing and how it works for the EIFD. Suffice it to say, this graphic probably is the best one out there. If you look at the bottom line, that's the base property value. We're talking about property taxes here. And the difference between the base year and new property value, as highlighted in the light blue and the darker blue to the right, is the property tax that would be available and would be shared between the Finance Authority, which is the city, and the county, split 50-50. So the next steps in the process are the finance plan itself, which is posted on the city's website, contains a description of the district, description of the proposed facilities and development, finding of community-wide significance, financing section, goals of the district, and appendices, including legal descriptions, and then details of the financial analysis. Here's a map of the EIFD boundaries. They're scattered sites throughout the city, very strategically located to capture maximum value when these sites redevelop, and we know that they will, hopefully in the near future, but this is also a long-term plan. Remember, as these sites redevelop, they will be reassessed by the county, and any incremental difference between the base value, and many of these properties, as you know, have very low base values as it stands now. In the case of that dark blue parcel, that's the CYA Youth Authority parcel, which was owned by the state, now by the city, which is assessed at probably next to zero now. So when Lewis comes and redevelops the entire project in accordance with the Transit Village specific plan, all of that reassessed value will be available between the city and the county, and that can be used for various infrastructure projects, and more importantly, can be used to issue bonds to generate even more revenue to do capital improvement projects, benefit the entire city, so long as there's a nexus between what we collect from those sites and the improvements that we're proposing to do. Here's an estimate that was provided to you by Cosmon as to what assumptions go into that plan as it relates to financing, and the numbers have been thoroughly vetted, and the estimates are as accurate and market-based as possible. Again, as I touched on earlier, some eligible projects for EIFD funding, including affordable housing, and that's a priority in the near term. Example, the CYA property sets forth that we do 40% of the total residential units there as affordable housing, roadway and utility capacity enhancements, parks and open space, and transit connectivity, to name a few. But we were exhaustive in our list, and we didn't want to exclude any list of potential projects out there. This next graphic is what I touched on as it relates to the 50% split. We made findings of regional and community-wide significance, including at least 2,500 housing units, of which about 896 would be affordable. There's job creation, both permanent and construction jobs. Quite a few construction jobs that would be created, not to mention permanent jobs. Obviously, it would accelerate development and related fiscal revenues. The calculations are here as set forth, and catalyze, most importantly, catalyze economic development and attract other money. As I said, we could bond against these revenues, and it would serve as a catalyst to apply for grants. Because if you can show, as you know with grant funding, if you can show that you have a dedicated funding source, it increases your odds of receiving that grant. So this highlights the formation schedule. I won't touch on all the dates. Today, you will consider adopting the resolution approving the financing plan. And then there are 2 meeting dates that we're proposing, which would be public hearing dates of October 7th of 2025, November 18th of 2025. These would be actions by the Public Finance Authority, and these are what we call protest hearings, where in theory, anyone that's within the EIFD district could show up and oppose. We're positive that that's not going to happen. If it does happen, then we simply would remove one of those districts from consideration if that's the direction. Just to keep in mind, these are very critical to the success of the district and necessary that we hold them. And then ultimately, we would go to the county, and that would be in November, and to be determined for them to consider a resolution approving the infrastructure financing plan. So for tonight, staff recommends that City Council adopt resolution number 2544, a resolution of the City Council approving the infrastructure financing plan for the Norwalk Enhanced Infrastructure Financing District and the allocation of the city's incremental property tax revenue within the City Norwalk Enhanced Infrastructure Financing District pursuant to Government Code Sections 53398.68 and 53398.75. I also wanted to point out that the financing plan is also available on our website. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. Your support on this is greatly appreciated. Your leadership on this has been greatly appreciated. This is an important tool. I'd like to call it redevelopment 2.0, but only better, because it's the county matching the city's revenue, and it's a tool that is really powerful to catalyze redevelopment in the city and finance much needed capital improvement projects. Thank you.
Very good. Teresa, is there anybody wishing to speak on this item?
I do not have any speaker cards for this item.
Thank you. Councilmember Valencia has a question. Go ahead, Anna.
I have a couple. Thank you, Alex. And I know this has been in the works for a while, but I do want to say, as much as Proposition 13, when it passed, saved a lot of people's homes, to be able to keep them, it did a lot of damage for cities, and essentially ending redevelopment agencies and the funding. And so I know that it's been really hard for cities to be able to, in California, to be able to get some sources of funding and what have you. And I think this is something that's definitely doable. The thing that or some of the questions that I have are, whenever I see property tax increments and bonds and what have you, I always think, okay, they're going to have to be paid back. And you mentioned a lot of the projects and what income they could bring in, what funding they could bring in, and I think that's wonderful. What my question is, I guess the bottom line is, when I see tax bills or what have you, will this trickle down to homeowners and their tax? And what are we looking at? Because this is going to be in the future, of course, but what are we going to be looking at in the future as far as homeowners and our property taxes? Because it's going to be in there, yes?
So Councilmember Valencia, I appreciate that question, and the answer is there's no impact as
Okay.
it relates to this action. This is simply, it's not an assessment, it's not an indirect or direct assessment, and it would not affect the property tax bills. To give you an example, if you look at, for example, say the property at Studebaker and Imperial, northwest corner, what we call the old Food for Less site.
Yes.
It right now, because it's completely vacant and has been vacant for a while, it's got what I would consider to be a pretty low assessed value because it's been owned by the same folks probably for the last 20 years. I believe the current assessed value, don't quote me on that, is probably about 28 million. So to give you an example of how this would work,
Yes.
when that center gets redeveloped, either sold and it would trigger a reassessment, or if it gets redeveloped by the current owner where they invest some money into it and bring tenants in, that would also trigger a reassessment on the improvements that they build should they decide to do so. All of those additional assessments are the increment that I'm referring to as part of the EIFD, and it has no basis on any other property owner, only the property owner of that property at the northwest corner of Studebaker and Imperial as an example. This is site-specific, so it would have no impact on the
Thank you.
residents in the city of Norwalk.
Because I have had some people ask me, well, is this, and I, so I said, let me ask, let me just make that clear. I think
Appreciate
it's
the
important for our residents and our folks to know. But, overall, it does sound like a great idea, like a great source for the city. I saw 26 million off the cuff and then increased. So I think that's wonderful. Thank you so much for bringing that clarity.
I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure we've probably done this. Give notification to those property owners within the district. I think we need to get their buy-in as well on this project, on this plan, because it'll encourage them to develop the property a lot sooner and a lot quicker and a lot easier, because now there's special financing that we can use to create a beautiful project for Norwalk. So when you asked for, you have public hearings coming up, and we want to make sure that, notification does go out to those property owners. A lot of these properties the city doesn't own or don't own, so it would be productive if we get them notified.
Appreciate the comment, Councilmember Ramirez. Legally, we will notify them, but I want to, we've been talking about this for a while when we go out to the community and make presentations. And I think one of the selling features is, to your point, is, again, for example, the property at Studebaker Imperial. One of the benefits of this is while we capture the new assessed value from their property, that can be used to fund roadway improvements that benefit their project and all the properties in the area. So it's a great selling feature because it's a very powerful financial tool to fund capital improvement projects. So yes, it directly would benefit those particular properties and the city as a whole. So yes, that's something we've been touting for a while.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you. I think what's important to recap, Alex, we have been talking about this a long time. To make some of these capital improvement projects, we would have had to have taken out bonds, and it would have cost the city money. But by establishing this EAFID board and program, we don't have to do that now. And with the increase in the changes of the property tax and the assessment value of what a property is once it's developed and brought to life again, that is only 100% benefit to the city, not only in what it will look like, but then the additional funding that comes back and can be directly utilized here in the city for those capital projects. So I think we need to repeat that 10 times over and over and over again, because that is one of the top selling points when we looked at this particular process and what it could do to really bring things to the city.
And thank you, Vice Mayor, and to add to that, it's a dedicated funding source. So if, otherwise we would be committing general fund monies like we typically do for capital improvement projects. This would be a dedicated source of revenue, again, that we could even bond against. But do it in a conservative fashion. Obviously, it's not going to happen overnight, but to your point, it's a very powerful.
Okay, do we have a motion, a second?
Move it.
We got a motion, second. Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Ramirez,
Aye.
Valencia,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Perez.
Aye.
Mayor Ayala.
Aye. Item 13, Agreement, Crisis Communications. Can I have a staff report, please?
Yes, Mayor and Vice Mayor, members of City Council, Mr. Levy-Sun will present.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and residents here in person and watching online. Tonight, I'll be presenting a recommendation for the Crisis Communications Service Support Agreement. Joining me tonight is the Moreno Group here to my left, to your right, Moises Moreno and Raul Riesco. For the next few minutes, I will share with you the RFP process and the result. But first, a little humble brag. We have a fantastic communications team here. You saw them at work today at the council meeting. We actually have another set of folks downstairs running the cable cast. Day to day, week to week, they're providing a lot of operational support and coverage support for all the other departments out there and making sure that the information is getting out to the community so it's actionable and relevant to them. And because they do a lot of day-to-day stuff, we recognize that even as a fantastic team that they are, and you can think about your favorite sports teams, there are still gaps and still needs to be met. And the needs have changed over the years in terms of how we communicate to the community. And with our team, everyone's dialed into a very specific schedule, task, goal. And when there are incidents that impact the city operations, we do not want them to suddenly be steered away and then interrupt those types of services. So one thing that we have noticed over the years that needs to be addressed now for this current need, because the community has changed, is 24/7, 365 days support in terms of surge coverage. This means that as an extension of the existing staff, they're able to address a lot of the incidents that come up. As such, an RFP was launched and published on July 1st. Questions were accepted through July 15th, with responses posted on July 21st. Proposals due the July 29th. We received 3 proposals, and all 3 firms were qualified and interviewed on August 8th. This is all in the era of transparency, but also, most importantly, to look at the competition. Because we have changing needs, we need to make sure that the new scope of work also has the best fit and most qualified firm to address this. So what were we looking for? First, the firm needed to have an experience in municipality support and high-profile incidents. They need a deep understanding of Norwalk's community. This includes even messaging in both English and Spanish, understanding the emerging issues that face our residents and businesses. In addition, something that is adjusted for this scope of work now to meet the needs is having performance standards. These are metrics that hold everyone accountable. Something that's included in that is response time, deliverables, in terms of delivery and time frame of the deliverables. We also have reporting standards, regular weekly and biweekly reports that are expected from the chosen firm. And of course, make sure this firm is best positioned to provide that surge capacity, not just during regular work hours here or during the day, but also during nights, weekends, and holidays that can complement the existing staff here in the city of Norwalk. Ultimately, we're looking for a firm that can meet the new challenges of today, but also be proactive on the emerging issues that can impact our community. Now, the Moreno Group have done a great job supporting the city through multiple crises events and also inclusive of supporting public safety. They have launched and helped brand the quadrant policing program here in the city. They helped with positioning the city as a regional leader in addressing homelessness, informing the public of the collective efforts we have done as a city which, as many of you know, has resulted in a 129% reduction in homelessness in the past year. They've also been highly supportive and provided response efforts regarding actions from the state that's related to the moratorium. Now, that's not to say the other two firms didn't do well. They are actually quite qualified. They brought a lot of great top-notch experts from the field, but through the interview process and through the evaluations of the RFP, the Merino Group was indeed the most qualified and the best fit for our current needs now. In terms of the agreement with the Merino Group is an amount not to exceed a monthly retainer of $3,000 with a maximum sum of $100,000 inclusive of the billable crisis communication activities. Staff recommends City Council approve and award a contract to the Merino Group for crisis communication services in an amount not to exceed $100,000 for the term of 1 year with the option of 1-year extension, and authorize the city manager to execute the contract and any amendments provided there is funding in the budget, and it is within the city manager's signing authority on behalf of the city in a form approved by the City Council. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Does council have any questions, comments?
I do. I have some issues with this crisis consulting firm. You know, I think initially when we first introduced them, which several years back, when we didn't have an established communication and public affairs department. And I think it was the agreement at that time that we would carry on this consulting firm until we were able to establish that department to get them up and running and up to speed. I have full faith and confidence in that department as of today. You've done an exceptional job. You've built up the staff within that division to address a lot of our concerns and needs that have been brought to light in recent times with COVID, crisis management, and other things that came up within the area. I would think that we would maybe look at keeping the Merino Group on the sidelines until further needed. I don't feel that we should incur more cost when we're still trying to develop and establish the communications department, getting them trained and up to speed to handle this crisis management issues. I'm not sure where we're all at on this, but I think when we first discussed this, that it was only going to be temporary, and hopefully, you know, I would like to see an expansion of our communications and public affairs department so that they could address any of these needs that come up 7 days a week, 365 days a year. My comment.
Do you, Mr. Sun, City Manager, do you have a response for the council member?
Yes, thank you for that comment, Councilmember Ramirez. And yeah, over the years, the department has definitely become more responsive to the needs of the community. And as such, recognizing where we are today, we produce a lot, and we support the city a lot in making sure citizens or residents have the information they need to take action. And ultimately, where we're at right now is that when we looked at this agreement, the scope of work has definitely been altered to address a very defined need that addresses that gap where we are today. As such, that's why the agreement is for the 1 year with a 1-year extension, and it will allow us time to then, once that's up, to reassess the needs then, and then appropriately modify, if needed, the scope of work.
I think the Mayor and Councilmember Ramirez, I think the additional information that I would provide is that we have been affected by the largest home key project in LA County at the Saddleback. We have been affected by, that was room key, we have home key, we've had the issues such as the individual at the park. These are just examples of items where there's a very specific type of skill set that I think the Merino Group brings to the city that can help us provide information to the residents in a way that their experience provides that ability for us to communicate with our residents. It's a skill set that that we need. I highly recommend it to have someone with the city under contract. We never know when a storm hits, trees fall, when we need to communicate in a very rapid manner to our residents and literally to what to do and what is happening on the spot. And I think the Merino Group has been able to assist us in doing that. And I think the community has been informed to a greater extent that that I think is appreciated by residents. And that's what I would.
I don't think anybody on council would disagree with that. But to Rick's point was originally, what he said was accurate. So I guess what my question is that, I mean, at what point, or is there a point that staff be able to fill that gap or not fill that gap permanently, only because what he said was exactly what we said when we took this on. So if now there's a new need or something, and, I mean, we all understand the value of the group. I'm just saying is I want to drill down on, what we said, where we're trying to go, and what that looks like.
Right, and so I'll answer a previous question, and then I'll go to that question. So we have through those actions of the county or the states, we have had litigation. We have had to take on in a very I think defending our residents, protecting our residents from actions from the state and the county, and so. Like I mentioned, we don't have that skill set yet in-house. When we do have that, I think that'll be a transition point. But I think the residents have been well served by having that communication directly on those issues that have, they've been affecting our community. And the reason I say that is because the council has taken those actions to litigate. And that presents a very special skill set to communicate to our residents.
I think council's
I get that point.
pretty aware of that, but I'm just saying is that I just want to get back to what the logic is, what we're trying to. So are you telling me that you're asking for a one-year contract because you're going to take a look at it in a year to see if you have that capability?
Yes, if we could develop that skill set, that'd be great.
But we're not there yet.
Correct.
May I add?
Hold on, let me just clarify something so that I'm clear. So you had mentioned these incidences that we've had with Project Home Key and Room Key. From what I know is that the information that was sent to us regarding talking points and press release were drafted from the Department of Communications and Public Affairs, correct? Or was that being drafted by the Moreno Group, filtered to the department, and then sent to us?
Yes, so it's a team effort. I'm included in those conversations as well. So yeah, it's the Marina Group and our public information, our Mr. Ramos and myself.
And the reason I say that is because I'm just focused when the information I get from Levy and his team, I think it's drafted from that department. So that gives me confidence that they're doing the job already.
Yeah, and as we work together, we want to have a point person, and that's Levy. So we all work together, and then he provides it.
Yeah, I don't mind the Marine Group. They've done an amazing job. They got the skill sets necessary, but my end goal is to making sure that we do it in-house and that we establish our communications and public affairs to the point where they can take the ball and run with it. And if it's going to take a year or less than a year, then I'm okay with it. But my end goal is like when we initially started, that this was only going to be temporary. And I think if we need to fast track it to get there, it doesn't take rocket science. I mean, it's media relations. You can take a few seminars and get your staff trained. We've had media coverage here for council, and I don't know who conducted that, but I wasn't able to attend. But you know, it can be done within less than a year. That's just my point of view.
Okay, comments? Other
Yes,
comments,
Mayor,
council?
thank you. I think healthy communication and talking through things like this is what we're here for. And the words that I was hearing was, or what I took from Levy and from Jesus, our city manager, is we're not there yet. And the way that you presented it, Levy, in the staff report today with the PowerPoint, I really see what the Merino Group is as an extension to your department. And if you are telling us that there's still a need for that extension, I'm going to take your word for it. And I'm going to support that. And I can see that we're going to get there. I kept hearing the word yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. But through the extension, the collaboration, I think, is another good word. We will get there. And you're in it every single day. And whether, you know, the emails come from Levy, doesn't matter who they come from. We know that's a collaboration between all three, and I appreciate that. So I can support this, and I can see the future. We're getting there. Yet is the key thing, and continuing the collaboration is what I appreciate.
Thank you. I want to concur with my colleague Jennifer. I think that we are a big city. There's lots of things going on, crisis and whatnot, positive things, negative things, but there's always something. And I know that we all have a lot on our plate, and I know that you do, Levy, and you do a fantastic job. But I also know that the Merino Group has always been, has had our back, basically, and have gone way and beyond to support us. And so as the city manager and as the director of communications have stated, they still need a little bit more time. I'm going to do this, and I'm very supportive of this plan and of this action. So, yes.
I'll move it.
Second.
Please. Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Ramirez.
Aye.
Valencia.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Perez.
Aye.
Mayor Ayala.
Aye. We're to oral communications. Can I have Paki Mataele come forward, please? First up tonight, Paki. Want to catch you when you're alert.
Oh, in Japan, right? They have this Ainu man, white man, not Asian, on a wheelchair. There's 5 people. Picture. Ainu. 5 people stand behind him. All stand their hand like this. If you look at that, that's the same way in the Easter Island statue. Like that. Look at that picture. Same way. They found it in Turkey, the temple something. Same way. Because it's a respect for the guy who was sitting there. He's the chief. They show respect. Because in ancient time, if you don't show it, whoop, you understand? very serious. The Japanese watch that statue, that picture all the time, and they miss it. Easter Island. Let me tell you what Easter Island is really supposed to represent 12 apostles, Peter, James, and John, the big one. And they calling on all the other statue, supposed to be 144 people, apostles from every tribe. 12 apostles from 12 tribes, 144. And they will have a missionary people, 1,000 each, that's 144,000. If you look at those statues, some sideways, they were trying to stand up. Some this way, some that way, some that way. They're trying to come up. Apostle standing and call them. Come on, come on. They're standing right there. That's what it really means. You understand? The resurrection. Huh? We knew about the resurrection. And we knew about the Japanese. I knew ours. You can't tell them, but they keep denying. They look at these people standing with their hand like that. They still don't understand. When my time is up. Thank you very much. New story the next time, okay?
Okay, Pocky. You got a couple weeks to work on your next one. Okay, Aaron Bushnell, or something similar.
Good evening. The Supreme Court upheld ICE's unconstitutional tactics of detaining anyone they deem a potential undocumented individual based off skin color, language spoken, and places likely for them to congregate. Norwalk has a population who is 70% Latino. I find it unfathomable that the city's politicians who were elected by that same constituency would take absolutely no measures to protect their civil rights. People believe that it cannot happen to them. Understand that the only thing that separates you from an undocumented person is a piece of paper. The city development that is talked about at every city council meeting can wait. There will always be an opportunity for businesses to line their pockets with the hard-earned money of Norwalk's working class. However, there will be no opportunity to get back our community members that have and will continue to be abducted by this Crow administration. This issue should be of the utmost importance to you all, and you have failed at the very least, try to implement city policy that will limit ICE's activities. We know where you stand now. ICE was spotted a week ago right by Dahlin Elementary School. What are the measures being taken to protect students and their parents? There was no announcement from the city that this even happened. We are lucky that there are community members doing what they can to stay vigilant in trying to protect their community. Silverio Villegas Gonzalez was murdered in cold blood by ICE agents in Chicago. He had just dropped off his 2 kids at school. It was only a matter of time before these thugs took a man's life. These agents are now acting as judge, jury, and executioner. That is the type of state violence we want to avoid on the streets of Norwalk. 2 California Senate bills passed recently, Senate Bill 627 and 805, which prohibit out-of-state federal law enforcement officers from wearing face coverings, as well as requiring them to be readily identifiable. Our Assembly member, Representative Blanca Pacheco, voted against the bill. And this is ultimately the issue. These politicians will say all the right things and appear at all the right events, but when their feet are held to the fire, when it's time to stand up for their constituents, they buckle under pressure. It is insulting that the City Council can recognize Central American Independence Day and Mexican Independence Day after 3 months of asking the City Council to protect our undocumented neighbors. Those words ring hollow. How can you sit there and recognize Latino culture while refusing to help out the same people who are most vulnerable to ICE activity? It is performative and we see right through it. We need to see action from you and not empty words and platitudes. And to my Norwalk residents, we are the ones that put these people into power, and we must remember that actions speak louder than words the next time we step into the voting booth. Thank you.
Okay, we have Ms. Oaxaca.
Good evening. Today is day 103 of the ICE siege. You claim to care about public safety, but what about the safety of your residents? You have enough residents to host Hispanic Heritage Month festivities right across the street. What a joke. It would be funny if it wasn't so sad. Valencia, Perez, Ayala, Ramirez. Just last week, masked men who can only be assumed as ICE, which again, we don't know, they kidnapped a hardworking man who has worked in Norwalk for over 13 years as a street vendor from the Home Depot parking lot on Alondra, across from Cerritos College. A local worker and another vendor had to close up his stand. What about the children being left behind as parents are wrongfully detained? Where is the due process? How can you be complicit in the separation of families? You want to talk about public safety and caring about your city, show us with your actions, not your words. Your actions will speak for themselves. We have so many people here who care enough to show up and support you. Where is your support? I mean, to make a pop culture reference, even Bad Bunny says he didn't include the US in his tour dates due to fear of ICE raids. There were many reasons why I didn't show up in the US, and none of them were out of hate. I performed there many times. All shows have been successful. All have been magnificent. I've enjoyed connecting with Latinos who lived in the US. People from the US could come here to see the show. Latinos and Puerto Ricanos of United States could also travel here or to any part of the world. But there was the issue of fucking ICE being outside my concert. And it's something that we're talking about and very concerned about. Today is September 16. A lot of people know it as Mexican Independence Day. And I do also want to quote Justice Sonia Sotomayor. We should not have to live in a country where the government can seize anyone who looks Latino, speaks Spanish, and appears to work in a low-wage job. Rather than stand idly by while our constitutional freedoms are lost, I dissent. That was September 8th, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. What will you do to show support for your community? More hollow words? No, thank you. We will be part of the change. You can grow with us, or you can stay behind. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Rebecca Munoz, please.
Good evening. Good evening, council members. We are a group of senior citizens of Norwalk who have attended a strengthening class for seniors at the Norwalk Sports Complex. This class is very popular with an average attendance of 30 or more seniors. This class has given Norwalk seniors health and strength in our golden years. In June of 2025, the class instructor, Claudia Godinez, was promoted. We were told that new instructors were being interviewed. 3 months have passed, and it has come to our attention that there has not been any interviews. We were given false hope. We are concerned due to past experience of other class cancellations. In July 2024, a petition of over 50 signatures was presented to the director and staff to bring back a senior Zumba class. We had 0 results. It has been suggested we seek other venues such as the Senior Center on San Antonio or Community Center in Norwalk Square. Unfortunately, those classes are full and overcrowded. We enjoy our classes, friendships, and staff at the Norwalk Sports Complex. These classes make a positive impact on the health of Norwalk seniors. We used to have a class every day: Zumba, yoga, strengthening, and Tai Chi. Due to these classes, many seniors have been able to recuperate quicker from surgeries and procedures. These classes are crucial and beneficial. We are currently lost sheep in the gym. We need guidance with our exercises. We have been dismissed and ignored. Unless we speak up and enlist the support of our city council, please help us by encouraging a stronger effort to recruit instructors for all classes and keep our seniors strong and healthy. Thank you for hearing our concerns.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rebecca. Mr. Gomez, could you have connect Rebecca and to our Recreation Department, see what we can do to address that?
Yes, we'll do that. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you very much. Is there any more persons wishing to speak, Teresa?
Those are the only speaker cards I have.
Okay, then we're adjourned.